The H1B Guy here, and today the H1B Guy speculates. What's next for employment-based immigration in the U.S. if President Trump is reelected? But before we get started, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube. It helps me to produce more content like this for you. I also wanted to mention the H1B Guy offers a variety of consulting services. If I can provide you peace of mind by helping you bridge the gap between your employer and your immigration attorney, please reach out. I'd love to hear how I can help you. In an article written by Amanda Holpuch for The Guardian that discusses the possibility of extensive immigration reform in President Trump's second term if he were to be reelected, I wanted to speculate along with the article on what that could mean for the future of employment-based immigration. Second-term immigration blitz. Quote, the architect of Donald Trump's hardline immigration policy is said to have a drawer full of executive orders ready to be signed in shock and awe style if President Trump is reelected. This comes as no surprise to those who have watched and worried as legal pathways to U.S. immigration shut under Trump and who wonder not just about 4 more years of him as president. During the H1B Guy Live unedited and unscripted Q&A 5, I was asked who I thought would win the election. While this channel is not intended to discuss politics, immigration is in fact very political. Add that to just how polarizing this election cycle has been, and it's been a large part of the conversation here on this channel, intentional or not. My answer on the live stream was President Trump would win re-election. I'm going to stick with that answer, although rising COVID-19 cases across the country may be the president's demise. I've referenced the website 538 multiple times. They currently have the former vice president with over an 8% lead. As record numbers of Americans casted early ballots, there seems to be this growing sentiment we really won't know who won for several weeks. But the thought of 4 more years of iron fist regulation against immigration into the U.S. is a real possibility, and one that we need to be prepared for. For those that have followed this channel for any amount of time, you know I'm pro-legal employment-based immigration. But it must be regulated with a system that promotes merit and skill. Speculating on the possibility of even deeper reform that further restricts inbound high-skilled human capital is very scary. Back to the article. Quote, those items are expected to include attempting to eliminate birthright citizenship, making the U.S. citizenship test more difficult to pass, ending the program which protects people from deportation when there is a crisis in their country, temporary protected status, and slashing refugee admissions even further to 0. There's no doubt our current immigration system needs reform. That isn't just employment-based immigration I'm referring to either, but all forms of immigration. Family-based immigration is important. Diversity is important, but our numbers are completely out of whack. We have to architect a system that promotes merit and skill. As I try to predict the future, my conclusions always return to a merit-based system. Back to the article. Quote, he who shall not be named wields an unusual amount of power in the administration, particularly the Homeland Security Department, DHS, which is tasked with responding to threats from natural disasters, cybersecurity, and terrorism. It is also the base of the country's immigration agencies, which he has zeroed in on with a relentless focus. He was the driving force behind the purge of Homeland Security officials early last year, which has left some positions in the department vacant or held by temporary office holders for more than a year. He has even been known to intervene in specific immigration cases by contacting low-level staffers. It's all very puzzling to me. The Giuseppe pulling all the immigration strings in our country literally and figuratively scares me. This is not meant to be a joke, but an honest statement. The power and the authority he yields as a senior advisor is almost unprecedented. The thought of 4 more years of his rhetoric and assault on legal employment-based immigration is the stuff that nightmares are made up of. And finishing up with the article, quote, in the final months of the 2020 presidential race, Trump has used anti-immigrant rhetoric at substantially lower rates compared to 2016, but his policies continue to dominate the news. Very interesting point made by Amanda, and one that I've discussed. I found it puzzling just how quiet the immigration debate as a whole was during this election cycle. Instead, through a series of presidential proclamations, executive actions, interim final rules, and notice of proposed rulemaking, President Trump's administration has rapidly reformed employment-based immigration heading right up to Election Day. COVID-19 and the global pandemic it has created has completely dominated the election issues. Last Monday on the H1B Guy debates, which presidential candidate will have the greater impact on the H1B, I discussed how both candidates have desires to reform the H1B visa, but neither really have a plan. Back on October 5th on the H1B Guy covers, Are Indian American Voters Being Influenced to Re-elect President Trump? I discussed the moderate Indian American voter and how that could help determine several battleground states. On August 16th, on the H1B Guy discusses presidential nominee Joe Biden's policies, I discussed the former vice president's policies and what he would look to accomplish if elected. Regardless of what side you're on, I'm looking forward to fewer political ads, mailers, and phone calls. I wanted to close out with emphasizing that if we don't realize we are starting to lose the war on human capital and the need for reform to our current immigration system for the benefit for everyone, it will be a long time before we recover. As millions of Americans head to the polls tomorrow, I'll be one of them. Tomorrow I'm going to try something new. I hope you all like it. Look for a post tomorrow afternoon. The H1B Guy on assignment. For the full post on the H1B Guy speculates, please check out the h1bguy.com. If you haven't already, I'd like to ask you to please like this video, please subscribe to the H1B Guy channel here on YouTube, and click the bell for notifications. If you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my content. I just really appreciate your support. The H1B Guy, your global source for all things H1B.